All right, Tom, go ahead.
Harry, when you look at this skid, you guys are in 9 games without a win. What has to change?
I think we just need to put a complete 90 minutes together. We've played really good at times. In this game, had a 2-0 lead, have had leads late before. So I think it's about just putting a full game together for 90 minutes.
Is it 90 minutes of fitness or is it 90 minutes of mental focus?
I think it's both. But obviously mental focus has to be there, but so does the fitness. Um, and I think we can improve on that a little bit.
How are you feeling?
Feel pretty good. Feel pretty good.
We talk about the injury and the comeback and how it's been for you.
Yeah, hamstring injury. They're sometimes tricky, but it's been good. Our staff's been great, getting me back, and feel pretty good.
I think you were playing at a pretty high level. You were at that point. What was the frustration level of coming out?
Yeah, it was frustrating. I felt like I started the season really well. So that was disappointing, but it's just a minor setback. And have missed 4 games. Obviously you want to miss 0, but I was talking to former teammates for the same injury, and they missed up to 6 weeks for it. So 3.5 weeks was not a bad timeline.
You guys were in the room for a long time last night afterwards. What was that conversation like after the game?
Yeah, I think there was just a bit of frustration, but we all want to win, and when you haven't won in a while, I think that comes out. Especially when you're up 2-0. So I think that was just a frustration coming out.
Justin and Matt.
Henry, I know you'd like to be out on the field, but on the sidelines, as they've kind of struggled in the results, have you kind of noticed anything that you think you can bring now that you're back in the lineup and ready to play?
I think this is something Roman does really well, but just being vocal. I think that's something I do well too. So, having us both back there, I think will be helpful. Roman's a great leader, so having his voice behind us, I think will be really helpful.
And then after like a team talk like that and today, do you notice a change in the room immediately, or does it take time to kind of address what's been happening and go from there?
I think there's an effect immediately afterwards in that last, a varying period of time, but it takes time for consistent change.
Matt.
Henry, is there trust in this coaching staff that they can get you through this stretch of games?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think they've been good. At times it's been things that we could do better. Not saying there's things that not saying that they're perfect. But I trust them. The group does. I think we'll get out of this.
On one of the city-produced videos, there was a video of Olof in the locker room telling the players that if you don't feel like you can continue, ask to come off. Is that different of an approach as far as having players sub in and out that you've seen before? Because it's been noticeable this season that Olof has commented on players telling him that they were needing to come off. Is that abnormal from your experience?
I think there's a difference between, telling, wanting, having to come off. So, some guys get hurt, you have to come off. Some guys feel something, it might not be a long-term injury, have to come off. So I don't think we have anyone that wants to come off. I think we, have guys that have had to come off. And I haven't been on a team where anyone's, raised their hand like, yeah, sub me out. And it's not the case here either. I think we've had some unfortunate circumstances where guys have had to come off, but I think the point is that just, work yourself to exhaustion. That's Olaf's point. He doesn't want guys volunteering to come off, and no one has. It's just about getting that physical push. I think that was the emphasis there.
How do you attack this weekend with Minnesota, knowing you got 2 straight against them, but also one counts towards the playoffs and the other one's for a cup?
Yeah, it's I think the first time in my career that I've played a team back-to-back twice, so it'll be interesting. I think it'll look a little different just because cup games tend to, be a little bit more of a chess match, I think, given that it's a, one-off knockout. So, we'll see how they line up too. Some teams don't line up with their strongest 11 in the Open Cup. But, that being said, it's the same opposition. So there's certainly a lot we'll take away from the game Saturday that we'll use to help us Wednesday.
We'll go virtually to Jeremy and then come back to Tom in the room.
Henry, one win in the last 10 and 4 games now where you've dropped points from a winning position. I'm curious, in the locker room, are you guys as players starting to feel pressure building on you to get results? And if so, how's the locker room handling that in terms of staying together?
Yeah, there's always pressure. There's pressure to win, all the time. So even when you are winning, there's pressure to win. But yeah, we're feeling pressure, but pressure's a privilege. That's something that you want. It means there's, something worth playing for. So I think that's a good thing. And no, we're sticking together through this, and we'll find a way out together. That's how we'll get it done.
Tom?
Is there a feeling that the season's getting away from you guys?
No.
Are you ready to go 90 minutes?
I think I'm getting close. 15 was a start. And then we'll see what Saturday presents.
Anyone else? Jeremy, go ahead.
Yeah, Henry, one more question for you. In recent press conferences, Olof has kind of talked about the players needing to be accountable a little bit. What's the feeling on that in the locker room? Does that add pressure or make anything uncomfortable for you guys as you're trying to get out of this winless skid?
I don't think it's uncomfortable. I just think that's a reality, Guys need to hold themselves to a high standard, and we do. And we need to be accountable when we make mistakes. And, during the game, it's out of the coach's control. There's only 11 guys, that can make a difference. And the guys that come on too, it's the guys on the pitch. So I don't think that, adds any pressure. That's just part of the game, part of the sport, part of the job.
Henry, thank you. We appreciate
Thank
it.
you, guys.
Leuven and Dorkin on the field today. What's their prospects for getting in a game sometime soon?
Yeah, I think it looks good. They both look good today in training, especially Chris. We were a little bit worried in the beginning of the week. He got a knock there on that knee, but he seems to be fine. Got through training well. Edu was his first training back now for quite a few days, so obviously not in top form, but we hope he can be available for the weekend.
Yeah, so both of them could be options
Yes,
for Saturday?
yes.
So last night, when you're watching the game, were you watching the game alongside Lutz?
Yeah, I was up there. Yeah.
So what's that experience like? And what's the conversation like between you two during a game like that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite focused on analyzing the game, so it's not too much talking going on. I think we're all in that box, very very focused on the game. But I said it the other day. I've done it before, so it's different, but try to use it in the best way possible. And it is different. I think I'm able to have a better analysis of the game, afterwards, speaking to you, compared to when I'm down there on the pitch. I often need, to watch it again, analyze it on video to have a better analysis.
What are you hearing from Lutz now when you two talk? What do you hear from him about how things are going?
Yeah, I mean, we speak all the time. It's not like something is suddenly happening during the game that we don't speak about on an everyday basis. It's everything is a team effort, and we're very close together. All of us, the whole staff, physically and working relationship wise. So it's it's a constant process in how we can improve all the time, and a teamwork together with Lutz, obviously.
And when you had trouble getting to talk about getting 90 minutes out of the team, how much of that is physical and how much is the team not keeping its mental focus for 90 minutes?
It's both. I think that this is something that we have been working hard on from preseason. I mentioned it early in preseason. You know, working on the non-stop player, and that is physically and it's mentally, and it's you know, a difference you see in player at the very highest level. They are able to play 90 minutes with from a physical point of view and from a mental point of view, and you know, they're able to do so 2-3 times a week. I had a, you know, long period in my career when I could have 2-3 games a week, 90 minutes, you know, season after season. So it's obviously really nice when you have as many players as possible who are able to do so. For various reasons, we don't have that at the moment. So, you know, it gives us a challenge, and it's you know, a puzzle for every game.
Matt,
Coach, prior to your arrival last season, the team had been on somewhat of a similar winless streak when a previous head coach was let go. In these conversations you've had with Lutz and or Diego, have you been given any kind of indication of you need to turn it around by a certain game, a certain date? Otherwise, there could be further conversations.
No, I haven't been given a date, you know, but we all know that we need to get results, and the results are on me, you know. So all coaches know that if you're not doing well, results, you're always under pressure, you know. But no, we haven't had those kind of conversations.
And on the nonstop players, that's been a stated goal, as you said, since preseason. Talking about the players who haven't had to deal with injuries so far, are they progressing to the level that you would expect at this point in the season to be able to go 90? Speaking either offensively or defensively.
So again, what do you say? The players who are able to play 90 minutes,
The
if they
players
are,
who haven't had to deal with injuries.
Yeah.
Are they progressing at this point in the season where you would hope they would be to be those nonstop players?
I think so. I think so in many ways. You know, there are not many of them, unfortunately, but yeah, I think so. I mean, you have Conrad as an example, important for us. I think everyone can see that with the intensity he plays with, and we want to be a team with intensity. And the more players we have who are able to do so over 90 minutes, you know, helps us a lot.
we'll go Justin, then Jacob.
Coach, you talked last night about the first half kind of being one of the poorest you've seen the team play so far this season. When you look at how playing out of pressure and linking in that transition, is that something that like you think you can fix pretty quickly ahead of like, back-to-back with Minnesota?
Yeah, I hope so. We've had a good look at it, and definitely we were not happy with the game as a whole. I think the performance, it was there to be won. You know, we felt they were quite passive in their defending, but there was still a lot of space to exploit, which we could have done better. We could have done much better in our intensity in the pressing. Yeah, they played a lot of longer balls, but I still think there were moments when we could have been much more aggressive and play with much more intensity. You know, so especially in that first half, we came out good in the second half, created a big chance the very first moment of the game, and had a few more. So yeah. Definitely improvements to be made. We've had a look at them, and hopefully you will see them on Saturday.
And then after the match to have a meeting like you did last night where the emotions are running high and people are kind of airing things out. How do you look at that improvement? Is that something that you notice immediately, like today at training, or is that something that you hope will play out more on Saturday and as the weeks go on?
I thought it was really good energy today in training. I don't know if it was because of that, but you know, we had a training now where the players who didn't play so much, who didn't play at all, did more. So you know, they pleased with them today in training, showing that they want to get into the team and seeing the possibility of playing. So I don't know. You know, the most important thing is how we prepare for next game. You know, afterwards it's wouldn't say easy, but analyzing the game and being critical is important, but the most important thing is how you take that into the next game and how do you prepare in the best way possible. So that's our focus now.
Jacob, then Matt.
Coach, you spoke last night about kind of the last late game struggles have been guys not being able to go 90 or guys coming off the bench and not having enough energy. As you still deal with guys not being able to go 90 with those injuries you mentioned last night, how do you envision winning games with guys and managing that with guys that still can't go 90?
Yeah, it is a challenge and a puzzle for every game. I think we had earlier in the season, we were quite good in those periods of the game. We made changes, whether they were tactical or whether we brought other players on, and we saw improvements and we saw good energy. Lately, we haven't. So that's definitely something we're looking at a lot. Tactically, instructions, changing the right players. How many minutes he was with Henry there yesterday, for example, how many minutes can he actually play? So in what moment can we bring him on and just an example, and we have other cases as well. So yeah, it is an interesting challenge for every game.
Tight turnaround to Minnesota. As you look at this Minnesota team and playing them twice over the next 4 days once you play them for the first time.
Yeah, even 3 times with City 2 on Saturday as well. So yeah.
That as well. Your thoughts on playing Minnesota and how you kind of approach Saturday with the U.S. Open Cup coming so soon after up there again?
Yeah, I think at the moment every game is a must win for us. We just need to try to pick up points, as many as we can now. So we're just looking ahead at Saturday and looking forward to that one. I have to be honest, because the games come so close. So late last night I started working properly on Minnesota, having a good look. I've always seen them in a little bit in the beginning of the season, but going to continue my work today. But it's a good, well organized side. The good transition team as well. So they've done well so far. So be a tough game.
Rock.
You've now got to see Joey Zielinski with the start against Omaha in the U.S. Open Cup, and now coming off the bench. What have you seen from him in the first 2 appearances, and what do you need to see from him to see that maybe first MLS start?
Yeah, really happy with his performances. He came on yesterday with confidence and did well. So really pleased with that. And it's I mentioned it before. It's a position we don't have so many players. So. Pleased with his performances.
I know it's just a quick turnaround from last night, but is there any further update on Giannis Horn this morning?
Yeah, the pictures came back from the scan and it doesn't look too bad. So it's questionable if he can play on Saturday, but we hope he's available.
Have you determined what travel plan you're going to have between Saturday and next week? Is the club coming back to St. Louis after Saturday or Sunday?
Yeah, we're coming back, and then we're traveling on Tuesday for the cup game as well. We were thinking of traveling the same day on Wednesday, but I think we're looking at traveling on Tuesday for the cup game.
And then with City 2 playing on Sunday, as you mentioned, unique opportunity to maybe travel up some other guys. Is there any kind of game plan or thought on specific players who don't usually see minutes with City playing with City 2? Or is it, we've seen last season, if players don't play on Saturday, then you just kind of, the team rolls them into City 2. Have you thought about that?
Yeah. We've thought about it, spoke about it, and we have a plan. And it's possible that we can, use that game on Sunday for 1 or 2 players. We are not that many, and with the game coming up on Wednesday also, we need to have that in mind as well. But it is a good opportunity. We're traveling together as well on tomorrow. So a good game as well. They're a good team. They're the second team as well, so it should be a good one on Sunday as well.
We'll go virtually with Jeremy and then wrap up with Tom Thurman.
Coach, you talked a little bit earlier about, the pressure you're feeling given the recent run of results. I'm curious to know, with that pressure, is any of that moving you towards maybe reevaluating if tactically we're playing the right setup, the right system week in and week out, or are you still confident in that kind of 3 in the back system being the way forward for the club?
Yeah, 3 in the back. I mean, we have changed that around with a lot of tweaks, So I think we have done quite a lot of tactical changes. Too many, to be honest, but because of mainly because of the change in personnel, and we're trying to take the most out of them. I mean, yesterday Celio had like a hybrid role, and I mean, it worked out really well. He scored a goal and was involved in the other one and contributed it in defense as well. So we have changed around quite a lot tactically. Again, a little bit too much. Yeah.
Tom, go ahead.
With all the games you have in this very crowded 3 weeks, is it difficult to make changes to, the way just there's so little practice time, it seems right now? Is it a difficult thing if you want to get better at something right now?
Yeah, it is. Like individual player development is difficult. I think you could see that yesterday as well. Some of the basics we need to work on. We need to get better, whether it's heading the ball or finishing, tempo, quality passing, these kind of things. We definitely can work on, but it's difficult when we don't have so much time in training. So it's mostly meeting and video, and then recovery and preparation for next game.
Yeah. So do you have to do more teaching with video now at a time like this, since obviously you want to reduce minutes on the field? Yeah,
there is more video. I mean, it's quite as usual, but they meetings and the video come more often because today, for example, we had a post game analysis video meeting, and tomorrow we'll have a look at the opponents. Then on a normal week, we use at least 2 days, sometimes 3 days to prepare for the coming games. With the shorter meetings, every day in that preparation. So we have to adjust to the schedule. Yeah.
And with all the games in this short window, are there guys right now that are kind of maxed out on minutes that need to get a break, whether it's Saturday or next Wednesday or whatever?
Yeah, we're looking at that. We were not happy with the intensity we played in the first half. It was a slow game, low intensity game. They played with quite low intensity as well. So it was one of those, and we're looking at every individual player, how their numbers look from a physical point of view, and if there are the reasons are tiredness, then we need to really have a look at that, because we need energy on Saturday for sure.
Did you see any of that in last night? That just with this games, that these guys who have played a lot were showing it?
Yeah, for sure. Again, it was a slow tempo game with a low intensity. I think. In a derby game like this, we need especially come out. We need to come out with much more energy, because we shouldn't be tired from the first minute. We had a period there, or a couple of minutes in the beginning of the game, where they put us under pressure, where we could have, we could have and should have done that to them. So I don't know. We shouldn't be tired. We shouldn't be tired, from the first minute of the game. But yeah, we're looking at it and see how we can get fresh players as many minutes as possible on Saturday.
Coach, thank you. We appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.